Okay, so this is going to be the next part of this little Chummer tutorial thing. This one's kind of optional to watch all the way, but if you want to have a really good idea of what character creation looks like, start to finish, if you want to see how the menus work further, and sort of get into like, well, what makes a good character, what makes a bad character, what, or at least what do I think about that? I'll be finishing our demo character here, Cypher, that I began and took you through the menus on last time. So we're going to go ahead and get him loaded. So you can also see how the character roster works now. We have our demo guy. It'll bring up some of their info here. But so if you double click them, yeah, it might just say that. Don't worry about it. Probably because we're not finished or something like that. Yeah, actually, we don't have any improvements yet, so there can't be any orphaned improvements. Don't worry about that part. So, we start off again here on the common screen, and I like to kind of do this in order. They're kind of organized in order how you're supposed to do it in the book. So, I like to start off with qualities, because kind of gets you, kind of answers questions about the character in addition to getting like karma expenditure out of the way. So let's start adding some qualities. And this will go a little bit quicker for me than it will for someone actually creating a character. I'm recreating a character, so I already know everything that I want. So let's start off with positive qualities. First, we're going to take a mentor spirit because we're an adept. And there's a ton of these now from many different books at this point. But the one we want for Cypher here is Stag. Stag is from Forbidden Arcana. And it's a very, I'm a live by the blade kind of guy. So, as an adept specifically, I get 2 levels of light body for free. That's awesome. That's two levels of power for free. And then anyone who takes it gets a +2 to blades tests. Maybe not that important for a mage, but for me that's pretty great. Its downside is if I'm disrespected or insulted, I have to take a composure test essentially to see if I freak out or not. So that's what we're gonna take, and sometimes it takes a second. And this one that's why it probably took a second. This one has the note, so that's cool. So it tells you everything about it. And then if you're a mage or an adept and you take one, you can actually see it in your spells and spirits tab, which is very convenient for mages, not so much for adepts, but it'll be down here, and it'll tell you everything about it. So that's pretty cool. The next one we're going to take for this guy, and you got to go back into the menu every time you add one. So you add one, you go back in. This is an adept exclusive thing, ways. So what these do is they give me, right now they give me discounts on particular things. You can open Street Grimoire. We can see the invisible way. Get some discounts on powers. You can only get one, and then yeah, for every 2 levels of magic, I get a discount on a power. So we're gonna pick Invisible Way because that gets us some good stuff here. Cool, it's got the reference as well. Maybe most of them have been added at this point. It's pretty cool. Now for negative qualities. So this was 5, this one's 20. Ways are expensive, especially if it's one of the good ones. So I've spent my 25 positive quality karma, which is my 25 starting karma. So I need some karma back. So let's start taking some negative qualities. Close this. So the first one I'm going to take, consummate professional. Oop. So let's see what this one does. This is in Assassin's Primer, because I want this guy to be a little bit of an assassin, kind of an operator. So it actually has an advantage. +2 to dice pool with social interactions with employers. Very helpful. The flip side is my street cred rises much slower than a regular character's. So I'm so good at my job that people don't even know how good at my job I am. So we're gonna take that one. My guy's gonna have a weapon focus, so we're gonna take emotional attachment. And so some of these you'll get them, and it's not gonna give you a drop down for everything or its own menu, because you can just put in what you want. So I'm gonna type weapon focus. So I'm gonna have a sword, and I love this sword. It's my baby. So basically, if I don't have it, I get a huge penalty cost. If it's lost or destroyed, I have to buy this negative quality off to get rid of my attachment to it. Next, we're going to take paranoia. This guy's backstory is he was part of a SK Prime, Sater Krupp's like intelligence service strike team, and he got burned. So now he's paranoid that they're going to come and finish the job. And it's a -2 dice pool modifier to all social tests with contacts loyalty less than 4, or anyone I don't already know. Never give my address, information where I live. I gotta switch around my living space. So this one's a real burden, but it fits the character, so I'm gonna take it. The final one is tough and targeted. It's from Chrome Flesh. This is a cool one. So this one means that the people who do know who you are, they know you're kind of a badass. So they're gonna come after you. They're looking for you. So, you know, it could be one guy, it could be multiple people, it could be a thing where, you know, if I'm like an honorable guy, maybe it's the same couple guys every time, and I'm like, come on, man, do we really got to do this right now? But so taking my reduced street cred, it still becomes a massive problem because I eventually will have to deal with more and more powerful foes just coming to try to kick my ass. So there we go. So that's one step done. We're going to go ahead and save. You can see I'm back up to 25 karma. So next, let's go over to our attributes, start spending some points. Easiest one is special. Go, bam, spend it. And you know, I thought about it, and I had a thought about what like taking tons of special attributes points could be for, is if you're an adept or a mage and you want to do like a hybrid build where you actually have a ton of augmentations, you can take a really high meta type, your essence loss will limit your magic, and you can actually raise it back up with the special attribute points. This also means, because that's how you do it in normal gameplays. You raise it back up with karma. If you know, it sucks for a mage to lose an arm and have to get a cyber arm, but you know, it is what it is, and you can raise it back up with karma. Well, you can do that in character generation too. You just have to have the special attribute points, or you can spend like all your karma doing that, I guess. You might not even have enough to actually do that. But let's see what we got here. Starting off with body. You want to be able to take damage. Body's pretty important. That raises your physical condition track. Agility, though, is going to be the most important thing for this character. Agility governs a lot. It's going to govern how well I sneak. It's going to govern how well I hit things with a gun or a sword. So we're going to crank that to max rating 6. You can only have one attribute at max rating, discounting your edge and magic or resonance. Reaction is an important one. I think that influences your dodge pool. Yep. So we're going to raise that to 4. Whoop. Rating 4. 3 points. Strength for this guy is important. I'm not exactly a tank, but we're going to raise that to 5 because strength influences melee damage. You add it to the damage of any melee weapon. Charisma, I'm going to leave alone for a moment because we're going to see what we got after we're done with everything else. Intuition, it's a good one. This is stuff like perception and whatnot. And then logic and willpower, both going to set at 3. And then charisma is going to get a 3 too. I'm not completely socially incompetent. I'm just not too good at it. But so that's it for attributes. If you kind of know the direction you want to take the character, these tend to kind of fill themselves out. You know, you pick one that's important, set it as high as you can. If you take really low attributes, you might have some choices to make. But generally, I mean, well, I guess I took attributes A, right? So I was able to really load this up. If you take lower attribute priorities, you know, you might have a starting skill at 1. And that's okay, so long as it's not the one that you need to be skill attribute. So long as it's not the one that's going to fuel a lot of your good skills that you need to be good at for your role in the team. Speaking of skills, so kind of same thing, not too hard to actually do here. Go over to the skill menu. So blades, you can see because so this is kind of awesome. So blades, my agility is 6 plus a free 4 rating for being an adept. That puts us at 10, and then plus 2 from stag. So I actually can't increase this any further. But I can take a specialty, so I'm going to take swords. Now, my starting character has a 14 dice pool in swords. That's really good. You want to really kind of just get what you need to be good at. You want to make sure you're really good at it. When I do skills, I like to start off with my skill group points, especially if it's like this, where I only have 2 points. And I'm going to put it in athletics, because I'm going to have a lot of ways to boost it. My starting attributes are really strong for it, so if I pop 2 in here, you can see these light up, and I've got 8 at gymnastics, which is going to help me get around. And then running is going to help me move further. If I need to swim, I'm pretty good at that too. And these can be bought further later on. But so that takes care of my skill groups. Just sorted it by the group. So let's go back to show all. And then I've got a couple of things. So I'm not just going to be good at swinging a sword. I want to be good at a couple things too. First thing I want to be good at, so I'm going to take 2 types of guns that I'm going to use. So let's go ahead and sort this so I'm a little easier here. Firearms. So if you want to be, you know, the gunslinger adept. Maybe you use all your skill points in firearms, your skill group points in firearms. You just dump karma into firearms. But I just want to be pretty good at firearms. So we're going to take a couple of points in long arms, a couple of points in pistols, and then I'm going to take 2 specialties. Sniper rifles, and for pistols, semi-automatics. So that gives me a 12 dice pool with either of those, thanks to my agility. And that's pretty good to start off with. That's right, I had one more thing. One more combat. Actually, 2 more combat options. So, close combat. See, why didn't I spend my skill groups here if I'm going to be taking unarmed combat too? Well, I don't really care about clubs. So, I'm just going to pop 1 here into unarmed combat. These are kind of bad. Well, if you do spend on a martial art, you can pick the martial art. So that's cool. Let's see what else we got. So I can't find. I have no idea what skill group this is in. Some of them aren't in groups. So, but I know it's agility active, so I can sort it by everything that's in agility. Pretty convenient. Agility is really going to be my main stat for this character. So we're going to spend a moment in here. Yeah, throwing weapons was what I was looking for. I'm going to spend 2 here and throwing blades. So I'm going to take throwing knives for a nice, quiet, retrievable option to combat. See, we got our gymnastics. Locksmith, opening doors. Pop a point in there. 7's not too bad. The average success, the average number of hits you need is somewhere between 1 and 3 in Shadowrun. For like basic rolls. So you can figure you're gonna get a hit for every 3 dice you have in your pool. You can augment that further with powers in my case, or various gear, stuff like that. So we got locksmith for breaking into places. Palming, this is a good one. So this way I can maybe steal stuff from people, and do some clever things, plant things, trackers, listening devices, whatever. So you got my pistols. And yeah, so sneaking. This is going to be important. I'm an infiltrator, right? So you got to be able to infiltrate. Take that for a pool of 11, and then I'm going to take urban stealth. Because, we're in the sprawl. So that's going to apply a lot of the time. Now, I don't know why perception is an intelligence. No, sorry. Forget I spoke. Because so it is a little confusing. Int is intuition, whereas traditional intelligence is taken over by logic. So I just accidentally Deathwatch got everything mixed up. Anyway, so yeah, intuition, not intelligence. I highly advise that your character takes a level in perception. Any amount in perception. Something. So we're going to take 3 levels. I'm going to make myself really good at visual perception. If you don't take any levels in perception, you're never going to see shit, and people are going to constantly sneak up on you. So, you know, I'm kind of betting that my visual pool of 9 or 7 for, you know, hearing or whatever else is going to beat out, you know, a bunch of gang guys trying to sneak up on me. We got one skill point left, and this is going to go in first aid. Not a high pool, but that buys us 1 hit, and maybe that's all we need in order to stabilize ourselves if we get messed up. And I can raise this more later too. So that skill's done. Save. Boom. We do have our knowledge skills, which we get from something. Oh wait, whoa, I have 1 too many points. When did that happen? Oh, hold on. I think something might be revealed here when we do our Adept Powers. I'm going to come back to that, but I do want to level of first aid. So let's do our knowledge skills. Firstly, our language, English, native, so it's all free. Let's see, what did this guy do? He was previously like a infiltrator for SK, so I know a thing or two about security design. Take a couple points in that, and then know a lot about how you would protect a VIP, which is going to allow me to figure out ways to then penetrate other people's security to get at their VIPs. Another really good one to take just for everyone is Shadow Community. Obviously, this is sort of the community of Shadowrunners. I'm going to be really good at finding rumors. You know, maybe stuff about jobs, if anyone's looking for me. And then final one, Underworld, which is a little more generic than Shadow Community. Take +1. We got a couple more left. This is going to be wet work. Assassinations. We got 1 more left. Going to be area knowledge. This is a really good one to take if you're going to be playing in a particular city. The original campaign this character took place in was Constantinople, but for example's sake, we'll say he's moved back to Seattle, and we're going to pop our remaining points in here. There's some, you can, if it's preloaded, you can take a specialty for a specific area. That's kind of cool. Let's see, our these over here actually determine what kind of attribute you are going to draw your knowledge skill pool from. So all of a sudden, if I change it to an academic security design, it's way worse for me. So I'm going to keep it where it is. But so you can change it, and you might get something better. You see, interest is intuition. Academic is logic. Not language. Professional is also logic. What the heck? Oh yeah, professional is logic, and then street is intuition. So you know, it's kind of like, how do you know about this thing makes sense for your character? If your character is a very low logic guy, just like some street tough who's really good at his job, you probably didn't go to college, so it doesn't make sense for you to really have academic knowledge. So there's those. Those are really easy, and they're fun, because you just get to pick some cool stuff to know about, and you get to roll on it and see what you know. We can see our limits. You know, in the previous video, our limits were pretty terrible, but now they're looking pretty nice. Not taking any martial arts. Don't care. Can't take any real spells or spirits. Adepts can take rituals, but I don't have any need for them. Here's our Adept Powers. We got our 2 levels of free light body from Stag, so that's pretty cool. So let's go down get some powers. Really good one that I like to do for adepts is always astral perception. You can only buy the 1 level of it, and it's just 1 power point, so we got 5 remaining, and it allows you to astrally perceive as if you were a mage. So, boom. Next, we're going to take attribute boosts. Attribute boost is really good for a physical adept. Make a magic plus attribute boost test for the level of the power, and then each hit boosts you up by 1. So pretty awesome. So if I take, oh yeah, and then it'll ask you for which attribute you want. And this is similar. There's spells that do similar things, and when you add them, they'll do a similar pop up. So I'm actually going to take agility and strength. You can only have one of them up at any one time, but I can choose if I want to hit stuff better or just do more raw damage. Here's one I really like, combat sense. Let's see. Combat sense is pretty awesome. Defending, you get +1 to your dice pool, and then you always get, even if the enemy rolled really well to surprise you, you always get a chance to try to defend yourself. This one we're gonna upgrade to 2, but then I'm gonna use my adept way to bump it back down in cost. I'm going to take critical strike. I always forget what this one does. These are all about in the same part of the book. Just extra damage. These can all be improved at later times. Oh well, this one can't. But hey, that's just extra damage. We got our 2 free levels of light body. Nerve strike. Why is it in here twice? Oh, okay. If something is listed as being in street spells or street grimoire, or sorry, shadow spells or street grimoire, use street grimoire. That's the official, like, full source book. So, nerve strike. Okay, yeah, it's attribute damage. Cool. It's pretty fun. We can discount that. Use one of our discounts on that. Nimble fingers. This has something to do with palming. I know that. +1 to palming tests, performing tests, which I'm not a musician, but you know. Let's take a look back at palming. I think it's, yeah, that's what happened earlier. So now this is up by 1, so I'm going to reduce this by 1, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to get my precious first aid. Just in case. Never leave home without it. Go back to our Adept Powers. Rapid Draw. This one's real funny. So with Rapid Draw, it here, I'll go back to it so I can find it. Oh, it won't let me add it again. Oh, but all of the, and it should look like this for spells too. Not exactly the same, but similar, where I can find it. And then, Yeah, if you have a quick draw holster, it allows you to make a quick draw test, and then it becomes a free action. So it becomes actually better to constantly sheath and then redraw my sword and attack as a single action than to keep it out. Pretty funny. Spirit Claw. This is a cool one. It turns your hands into astral objects that can hurt spirits, which is usually pretty difficult to do. Whoop. Stillness. This is a stealth one. Oh yeah, it lets you like totally shut down your body. Traceless Walk. This one lets you do some cool stuff. It's on 311. Yeah, you make no sound or visible traces, even on sand. It's like Legolas on top of the mountain in Lord of the Rings, just walking on top of the snow. Then oh wait, that's right. Hold on. I'm actually going to delete Rapid Draw, because we're going to get that from somewhere else later. I'm going to add back in wall running. Pretty much does exactly what it says. It lets you run on walls like it's Titanfall. So, pretty cool. Initiation, we got nothing to do there. Cyberware, Bioware, nope. Not my kind of thing. So, gear. I'm actually going to skip to... I'm going to come back to the basic gear. Gonna start getting myself some armor. Haven't spent a cent yet. I'm a stealth guy, so chameleon suit on the menu. Chameleon suit, it's +2 to your sneaking limit to hide, as long as it's visible. So you can see a lot of things like that, whether it's to social or sneaking, where it has to be visible in order to function. And that's just like, you know, you can't have it in the trunk of your car and argue that you're getting a limit bonus from it because you don't have it on. So I want to go for quality over quantity with these things. So I'm going to start modding my gear. And sorry, I did that kind of fast. Things that can accept mods are going to have this capacity stat, and you can right click and add mods. So the first thing I'm going to add is thermal damping. We're going to add that rating 3. So I think if it's 4. Oh. Let's see how this works, huh? Oh, that's one thing about the references. It's gotta open in order to navigate you. So you kinda gotta close it every time. Yeah, we'll take it as level 3. What this does is it makes it it makes it better. It's even better at sneaking. So I have like a massive limit for sneaking. Oh right, not the armor mod. Concealed. Hold on. How did I add that? Well, I'll have to try to find that. There's a quick draw holster you can attach to your armor in some way. But even though I'm not a tech guy, go ahead and add a bio. Wait, why is it doing this? Sorry, I'm looking for something. I think they've moved some things around. I'll figure it out. But, so, in Shadowrun, you only get to keep your highest armor. So, I could take a jacket or, you know, whatever else and put it on top of this, but there's not really a point to do that. Not really. So, but there are certain things that add armor, like forearm guards. See, it says +1. So that's +1 to my armor. And I can add a cool thing to this, shock frills. So these kind of think of these like Batman's guards, except it has a taser in it, so that's pretty cool. Got one more thing here. These do something. Look at that cool guy. Hey, that's a Dune if ever I've seen one. Aha! That's right. These add +2 to your lower legs. So my highest armor is 12. So I got like 9 on the body and 1 on my arms and 2 on the legs. I'm gonna go over to weapons. So first and foremost, going to grab what's going to be my weapon focus. So it's going to be a sword, blade. They're in blades. Pick the old reliable Ares 1 mono sword. Good to go. Then there's a particular way to add a focus here. Oh boy. we'll get there. It's a weapon focus. See if I can search that more specifically. Here we go. Weapon focus. We want that to be a rating 2. Pretty expensive. Can I make it 3? I could. That's even more expensive. We're gonna go for 2. Bonding it costs, okay, yeah. You bond it, you select an eligible weapon. That costs karma depending on the rating. But now it's a focus, which makes it even better. Makes the sword considerably better. I think it adds an additional +2 to using it. So even better, right? See, did I have any mods on this? Okay, yeah, you know, we got some accessories here. Give it a custom look. I remember for this guy, had all of his weapons be black and red. Cause I'm an edgy guy. Personalized grip, so that means only I can use it. And then the really good one, gecko grip, means it's harder to disarm me with it. For guns, I'm going to go ahead and save it. For guns, I got pistols and sniper rifles. So go for maximum impact, take a heavy pistol, take the old reliable once again, Ares Predator 5. Oh, here's this. Hold on. Ah, I see what happened earlier. So something moved here from armor to weapons. So for the Predator, we're going to take a concealable quick draw holster. So we can like live in my chameleon suit and then bam, quick draw it. And then we're going to add a spare clip. And if you want to stay in a menu, you can click Add and More. I'm going to add 2 spare clips. They come with 1 clip effectively, which, I mean, they should be called magazines, right? But we'll buy some spares. Just in case. Gonna take a knife. Then we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves a sniper rifle. This one's a good one. Very expensive, very high availability, but it's a good one. This one's cool. If anyone other than you tries to use it, it shocks them. Kind of like a less explosive version of the Lawgiver from Dread. You can see I'm burning through my money now. And this thing has a ton of stuff already in it. Oh wait, I lied. It's not that. You can get that though. So you can get like a palm reader that'll shock or explode the gun on someone, but this is a literal like a shock force. So it's got extra recoil compensation. It's got a good scope with camera and vision magnification. That's real good. And we're going to take 2 spare clips for this as well. It doesn't need any other extra greebles because it's already got quite a bit going on. Oops, stop that. Okay. And then take some throwing knives. So I don't know where they are. So we're going to search them. Uh-oh. Well, they might be in gear. Okay, before I go into the gear, we're going to get our lifestyle so we can really see how much we're going to have left. Lifestyle. Crappy apartment. It's going to be low. Got lifestyle points for this advanced stuff here. So I've got 3. So security is important, but can only raise them to a maximum of 3. So it is what it is. We'll say we live in Seattle, and we live in Renton's pretty nice. Christopher. And equality. You can get a bat cave. Oh right. So now I gotta actually keep the security. And then this guy's extra paranoid, so I'm actually going to build a second one. And we're going to have a bolt hole. It's going to be a shipping container. Be extra secure. Put all the points into security. And then one for comfort. Say it has a nice bed. And we'll leave this at an indeterminate point so that we can kind of pull it out. So this is pretty expensive overall, but my guy isn't going to need money that much. If you're an awakened character, what you really need is karma. Going over to gear, get some of our stuff sorted out. I do want to see why I can't add the quick draw holster to this. There it is. Oh wait, wrong thing. The sword, please. I will have to look into that at a later time. So let's get some other stuff here. Firstly, I'm going to get a key focus, which for adepts are foci that give you tattoos. And those, so it's a tattoo on your body, and it gives you it gives you some adept powers. Bond it, and it'll give us quick draw, like we were wanting earlier. I can, whoa, hold on. Oh, rapid draw, which makes quick draw better. So that spent some nuyen and some karma. We're running out. So let's see, I'm a lowly human, so I need some good goggles. Go with some really good goggles. We're going to add some some bonuses to this, because right now they're just goggles, so whatever. But can add some things to it. Got flare compensation. You can see it's got capacity here. We're going to add low light vision. Good. So now I'm like one of those fancy elves. Got thermographic vision, which takes a lot more capacity than the others. Oh wait, never mind. I read that wrong. And then get. Originally I'd taken vision magnification on these, but kind of don't really need it if this has it. Not that I'm going to be carrying this thing everywhere. But we'll leave it there for now. Those are expensive enough goggles. Ah, yes. Let's get our throwing knives I was looking for. 15 of them. Now, something that everyone needs, fake sin. I think I'm just going to get rating 2 right now. If all is going to go well, nobody should be scanning it. But, let's pick a name here. Ah, yes. Human. Oh, this was meant to be rating 2. No, it wasn't. Oh, wait. Yes, it is, because I'm going to spend some karma on money. Spend 5 for now and see how that gets us. Now we need some fake licenses. It's almost more important to have these, because if you look like you have a real sin, and they go, "Hey, let me see your license," you can be like, "Oh yeah, license, no problem." So we're gonna get rating 4 one. Boom. First one, Adept license. So if anyone sees me doing any cool shit, I can be like, no, I can do that. Fake license. Here, rating 3 for firearms. Oddly enough, you can have a sword. I own a sword for home defense. Then, oh yeah, here's a cool one. We're gonna get a portable injector on the wrist, so I can stab people with it. And then we're gonna add some drugs. Maybe it's not a drug. It's a toxin. Atropine knocks people out. Yeah, it's not nice to do to people. Here's one that everyone needs. You need a comm link. Oop. We're gonna get a reasonable one. Get the Erica Elite. So, comlink functionality, it's not just a smartphone. The best thing that it does for a Shadowrunner is it establishes some security for your weapons and gear if they're in wireless mode. So you can see my Predator here has a Matrix rating, and it has a smart gun system, which means that it gets bonus to being turned on wireless. Well, its device rating and stuff like that isn't that good on its own, but if I have the comm link acting as a sort of cybersecurity barrier as a 4, well, that's at least that's double the security. As well, it keeps you in touch with everyone. There were some funny touches I put here. So, guy had a common programs. Not that. Something goofy. Hold on. Comlink apps. This one's a cool one. Ticker. So you can put a tick for looking for something. I don't know about that. But what the cost means. But oh, why did it? Hold up. Oh, I'm out of money again. I think I just spent most of the rest of my karma on money. Let's see how this works. I don't know if it costs anything. So, I don't know, but the point is, okay, let's put it, costs 10 million. And the ticker is going to be for police response times. So what that does is it makes my comlink is constantly showing me like a stock ticker scrolling thing, police response times in the area. So that's pretty cool. Comlink apps. Here's a really fun one. Theme music. So that costs $10. This one is like it plays music for you. So I had the idea that this guy listened to music while he was on the job. And then let's see, we got, just in case here, get a gas mask. Can't hurt, right? Then we're gonna get a shit ton of ammunition. APDS is armor piercing ammunition. It's really good. So we're gonna get 45, just enough. And so when you get ammunition, it asks you what category. So I'm gonna get that for my heavy pistol. That actually influences the cost, I think. We're gonna get some stick and shock ammo for the heavy pistol. Get 45 of that. Then, ooh, that's right, I got some gadgets too. Take an auto picker. Just gonna help with my lock picking stuff I got earlier. My locksmith skill. Then it's also a sequencer. This is a good one to have. Can automatically get through. Oh no, not 4 no, not 4 sequencers. 1 rating 4 sequencer. Thank you. So you gotta kind of gotta be a little careful in the menus to click the right thing. So this will get me into location. So I can use my security design to sort of figure out how a place might be secured, and then I can use this stuff to get in to the location and then hit the target. Because, you know, I'm thinking about this guy as an assassin. Then I need some ammo for my sniper rifle. I'm just going to get regular ammo. Because I think there's like an availability thing with this. And for this we're going to get 60. Sniper rifles. Cool. And then, I don't know if you can load it. No, you can't load stuff. So, that does it, actually, for this guy for character creation. I'm under the threshold of karma that you can bring in. I'm under the threshold of Nuyen that you can bring in. And, I've spent a bunch of money, spent my karma. I don't know if this is the best character. I don't know if I'd steal this build, but I had fun with him when I played it. So now, save. We can go over to character info and hit mark as created. And when I save it again, it'll ask me to confirm it. Just, hey, are you sure? You can't do it. You can't continue the same way here. Hit yes. Ah, no magic tradition. So you can see it'll try to validate your character. Now, I don't actually need a magic tradition. I don't. I'm an adept. It doesn't actually matter. So I'm just gonna click custom. No. Fine. I don't know. Let's just pick one. Just pick hermetic. Just traditional magic. So we're still marked as created, so when I try to save it again, bingo. So, then what it does is it rolls your starting Nuyen, depending on your lifestyle. So, let's look at the dice roll, or roll the dice. Yikes. So, depending on your lifestyle, you get to roll for an additional amount of starting Nuyen from, I don't know, your last job or something like that. So you hit OK. It takes a minute to load and refresh everything. And now we are in career mode. It's added my starting karma. It's got, and you'll see this looks a little different. There's some more stuff up here. So that was it for this one. Just like going through an entire character creation. And then so next one, which will be the last guide I'll make, is I'll just take you through some of the differences of career mode and what this is like, because this is what it's actually going to look like for you on a session-to-session basis, as opposed to just during character creation. So thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. Shaking off the rust a little bit, but yeah, that's character creation.